morning, Iris.
Oh, Max, I have been trying to find your house, but I seem to be lost.
Well, you're not lost.
This is where you live?
This is it. Come on in.
You know, that apartment we looked at this weekend wasn't half bad. In fact, the more I think about it, the more I think it's the right place for us. What do you think? Paige?
I'm sorry, darling.
Well, I was asking you about the apartment we looked at this weekend. I think we should take it.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Look, I know the building itself isn't much, but, you're not listening to a single thing I've said.
Darling, I just have 1,000 things on my mind today, that's all. Sorry.
Obviously. Something's bothering you, Paige.
No. No, it's just... With Billy Joe out this past week, I'm just a little short-handed and, just more than I can handle right now, that's all.
That's all it is.
Yes, Dennis, that's all it is. To sign a delivery invoice. I'll be right back.
What time is our first interview, Ryan?
Oh, about 15 minutes.
Where's Terry?
She's at a meeting down in legal. Asked her to take some notes for me.
I hope she left the master list.
Yeah, it's right here.
Is she going to be here on time for the first interview?
I don't think so, but I'll cover for her and hold any calls so you won't be disturbed.
So you won't be sitting in on the interviews, huh?
Well, I will if you want me to, but it's your secretary we're looking for, right?
Well, that's true, but remember now, you're going to be working with her more closely than I am.
Mm-hmm.
At least until you leave Houston.
Alex, I have something to tell you. There's a good chance I may not be leaving Houston after all.
Texas, starring Beverly McKinsey.
Would you like to have some more coffee?
No, thank you.
All right, Iris, you just stop being so proper and tell me what you think. You hate it, don't you?
No, I don't hate it. It's quite charming.
Oh, is that why you looked so shocked when you came in?
It just wasn't what I was expecting, that's all.
Oh, I told you it was a cabin.
That's just what it looks like.
Well, I've already started making a few improvements because we don't know how long we're going to be here until our house gets built.
Well, the important thing is you're happy.
Yes, I'm very happy. It hasn't been easy adjusting to this kind of life, but I've managed. Oh, I want to show you something. Oh, what is it? Open it.
It's an invitation to the surprise party for Alex.
Mm-hmm. I told you that I decided to mail the invitations rather than call on people. I think it makes the party more of an occasion.
Oh, it's so elegant.
Thank you. These are for you in case you think of anybody else you want to invite.
All right, thank you.
Now, let me tell you some of my other ideas for the party. First of all, since it's Alex's birthday,
Rena,
I
forget
thought
all that for a minute, will you? I need your help with something.
I hope my not leaving Houston won't interfere with your plans.
On the contrary, I couldn't be happier with Dennis turning down my offer as executive assistant. You know, I'm going to need you more than ever.
You know, Alex, remember how you told me about traveling and wanting to spend more time with Iris?
Well, I thought that we could make up for, you know, 25 years we were separated, but now I'm not so sure that that's possible.
Come on, don't you think things will eventually work themselves out?
They might.
You know, you've never really explained to me exactly what happened between you and Iris. What was it, huh?
What it boils down to is that Iris pressured Dennis into taking the job I offered.
Mm-hmm. And that upset him, huh?
Well, I think it may have had some effect on his turning it down, yes.
So you don't think Dennis is really that interested in working at KVIK, then?
Well, I wouldn't go so far as that, but I do know that Iris should have stayed out of it.
And apparently Dennis feels the same way you do.
What made matters worse is that she lied about having talked to Dennis.
Does Dennis know yet that you're his father?
No. That's one thing I can be thankful for. At least Iris had enough sense not to go against my wishes in that respect.
So what you really want is for Dennis to come back to you on his own, right?
That's the only way he can come back to me. And that's the only way it'll happen, if he's not pressured.
What kind of help is it that you need?
You simply have to find a way to get Dennis to come to the party.
Oh, honey, we've already been through that, and I told you before, I wasn't tricking Dennis into anything.
I don't know where else to turn. You're my last hope, Rena.
You mean my only hope, honey. Well, have you asked anyone else for help?
I talked to Paige right after I saw you, and as I expected, she refused to do a thing.
Oh, now, wait a minute. I didn't advise you to go to Paige. I told you to go directly to Dennis, and that's what you said you were going to do.
I did, after I talked to that dreadful wife of his.
Why would you want to talk to her anyway?
Because she obviously knows how to get around him. I mean, she tricked him into marrying her, didn't she?
And she also has no use for you, so why would she want to help you?
You're right.
Well, you should have known that.
Don't rub it in.
What did Dennis say anyway?
He said he was too busy to come.
Is that the only excuse he offered?
He didn't even wait to find out the date.
Well, that's it, honey. Just resign yourself to the fact that Dennis isn't coming to the party.
Rena, if Dennis isn't at that party, there is no telling what Alex will do.
So he'll be a little unhappy about it.
Unhappy about it? I will be lucky if he doesn't leave the house and never come back. No. Without Dennis, there's not going to be a party. You'll have to call everyone you mailed an invitation to and tell them there's been a terrible mistake.
I can't do that, Iris. I'd look like a fool.
I'm sorry, darling. There is no other alternative. I mean, we can't very well have Alex storming out of the house in front of all those people, can we?
Oh. All right. All right, I'll see what I can do with Dennis, but I want you to know something.
What, dear?
I am furious at you for trapping me this way.
That's not the way you should think of it. You're doing me a favor, Rena.
I'll say I am.
That's because you're a wonderful friend. And sometime when you're in trouble, I'll return the favor. I promise.
You better.
Would you speak to Dennis today?
Now, you didn't tell me why you changed your mind about leaving Houston. I assume it has to do with something as far as you and Jenny are concerned.
Yeah. In a way, it has.
Now, I knew why you were going away, to allow Jenny to get her life back with Barrett, right?
Yeah, that's right. I felt if I stayed around town, I'd want to see her, and she'd probably want to see me, too.
But then why are you changing your mind now?
Well, the situation's a little different right now.
Well, then I don't understand.
Yesterday, I found out that Jenny's pregnant.
Then you think?
I think Jenny's carrying my child.
I see. This must be very difficult for you.
I haven't seen Jenny since before Barrett got out of the hospital, and that's when I told her I was going away. And...
Then she doesn't know about your change of plans. What are you going to do now?
I don't know. I sure better do something. I just don't know.
Hello, Mr. Connor. I'm sorry if I'm a little early.
Oh, that's okay, Ashley. Come on in.
Well, I've always felt that if you want to get someplace on time, start early, just to be on the safe side.
Alex, this is Ashley Linden. Ashley, meet Alex Wheeler.
How are you, Ashley?
I am so happy to meet you, Mr. Wheeler.
Well, I suppose we ought to get on with the interview. All right, after you.
Hey, don't forget this, all right?
Thank you.
Oh, your secretary told me to come right in. I didn't know you were on the phone.
Oh, that's all right, dear. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm looking for Stryker, but nobody seems to know where he is.
He's in a meeting with the legal department. It'll probably be a while.
Can you be a little more specific?
No. What do you want to see him about?
Oh, I wanted to ask a favor of him. Not for me, it's Iris. She's having problems with Dennis and Alex, and actually, you're the one who caused all of their problems.
Boy, am I glad that is over with.
Well, now, that wasn't so bad, was it, huh?
Oh, Mr. Wheeler is absolutely divine. But I was so nervous. I just hope I did all right.
No, you did fine. Don't worry. I'll let you know as soon as I hear something, all right?
Well, I remember you saying that we wouldn't hear anything until next week.
Yeah, that's right. You see, you're the first person interviewed. We have a couple more this afternoon and quite a few to interview tomorrow.
There is so much competition for this job, I wonder if I even have a chance.
Look, Ashley, if it's any help, I think you should know that, well, Mr. Wheeler was very impressed.
Do you really think so?
Mm-hmm. He was especially impressed with your knowledge about World Oil.
Well, that comes from having worked in so many different departments.
By the way, do you know that every department head that you worked for gave you excellent recommendations?
Well, that is so nice to hear. I tell you, I really appreciate you going out of your way to make me feel better. And I know that it's silly of me to worry like this. I'll tell you, Mr. Connor, the only real regret I'll have if I get this job is that I won't get to work with you.
Well, don't be too sure about that.
Is there a chance you may be staying in Houston?
Yeah, there's a chance that, well, I won't be leaving.
That's wonderful. Well, do you mind me asking, what made you change your mind?
Listen, these are circumstances I'd rather not get into right now, okay?
I understand. Well, thank you again for your kindness.
Thank you, Ashley.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Rena, there's something you don't seem to understand.
What's that?
My job offer to Dennis wasn't designed to cause problems for anyone.
I know that may not have been in your mind, Mother, but that's the way it turned out. You shouldn't have interfered.
I asked Dennis if he was interested in working here at KVIK. Now, in what way was I interfering?
If you hadn't said anything to him, he probably would have accepted the job that Alex offered him.
Dennis had already turned down that job at World Oil when I spoke to him. And I'll tell you something else. If Iris tries to apply pressure on Dennis, there's only going to be trouble.
Well, she's already done that, and there's already trouble. Dennis is angry at her, and Alex won't speak to her.
Why isn't Alex speaking to her?
Because of the pressure she put on Dennis to accept Alex's job offer. Oh, she went to Dennis on the sly, and Alex found out about it.
Obviously, Iris has gotten you involved in all of this.
She sure has. The reason for the party is to make amends with Alex. But Dennis says that he won't come. And if he doesn't, Iris says that Alex is going to storm out of the house in front of all the guests.
Well, my advice to you is to stay out of it.
Well, it's too late, Mother. I'm already involved. Now, I want you to know that I offered to help with the party before I knew about all these complications. Now, if I can't get Dennis to come, then I'm going to have to call all those people and tell them that the party is canceled.
Is that why you want to see Stryker?
Well, I thought that maybe he might be able to persuade Dennis into coming. know, now that I think about it, you might stand a better chance with him. You must have a pretty close relationship with him now that he's planning to come here and work at the station.
Oh, no.
Mama, you're just the one who can do it. Now talk to him, please.
Anything interesting?
It's reassuring to know the world hasn't changed since I've been locked up in this place. Wars, murders, insurrections, it's all here.
Well, you should be pleased that I brought you the paper instead of your daily book.
Well, I've got enough books to start a lending library.
Well, there's one thing you won't read in today's paper.
What's that?
An announcement of your son's marriage. I meant to tell you before, but...
But you didn't know how I'd take it.
Something like that. I apologize for not saying anything earlier than this.
Paige, it's what you wanted to do?
I wouldn't have done it otherwise.
Well, I mean, you've given it enough thought. You just didn't rush into it.
No, Dad, we love each other.
Well, it takes more than love to make a marriage work. Well, you'll find that out on your own. May take time. It certainly took me time.
Does that mean you're against the marriage?
I'm not against anything you want to do, Dennis. Just as long as you're sure it's what you really want.
I'm sure it's what I really want.
Your marrying Paige kind of made Iris very happy.
That's an understatement. You know, I've given up trying to do things to make Mom happy. I really have.
Well, I know you're having one of your periodic spats now, but, well, I hope you can sort that out soon.
I wonder.
Well, you know your mother cares for you a great deal.
Well, she sure has a funny way of showing it. Look, Dad, I better get going. I've got a meeting with Vicky this afternoon.
Oh, well, tell her hello for me.
I'll do that.
And Dennis.
Yeah.
The next time you come by, bring Paige with you, will you?
Sure. Sure, Dad, if you like.
I would like.
Bye.
Bye, son.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
No, Rena, dear, I have no intention of interfering in the Wheelers' family problems.
Mother, you wouldn't be interfering. You'd be helping.
But I don't see it that way.
Mama, I can't call half of Houston and uninvite them to this party. Now, you're a friend of Alex's and Iris's, too. You know how important it is for Dennis to be there.
Yes, I can see
well,
that,
then
but
mention the party to him the next time you see him. You don't have to pressure him or anything like that. Just try to reason with him.
Honey, it's none of my business.
All right. I'll try to get Stryker to talk.
Your father has enough on his mind at the moment.
I don't know who else I can turn to.
Very well. I'm meeting Dennis for lunch, and I'll say something to him about it. But I'll do the best I can, but don't expect any miracles.
Are you going to have lunch with him today?
Yes. But I have an appointment first. But, listen, do you want to stay in my office and see Stryker? You're here. You might as well.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to him.
All right. Mickey? Yes, would you please see that Mr. Bellman doesn't leave the station until he sees Rena? She's waiting in my office. Thank you. Well, I must run.
Mama?
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for bailing me out of this jam I'm in with Iris. I really do appreciate it.
You just make sure that you stay clear of the Wheelers' domestic problems from now on.
I will. I've learned my lesson.
Goodbye, honey.
Bye.
Why don't you go back to California? Aren't you a little lonely for the action out there, huh?
You know, the more I stay in Houston, the more I like it. Besides, I have plans that might help me get some income.
Well, as long as you leave me out of the plan, sweetheart, I don't give a damn what you do.
Oh, but you're a big part of my plans, Paige. A big part.
Sorry to interrupt your little daydream, Paige.
What do you want, Iris? I'm not in the mood for one of your little visits today.
It's just as well, since I didn't come to visit. I'm here to have lunch with a friend.
Sorry, you're gonna have to wait.
How long?
Oh, I'd say about a half an hour.
Half an hour?
You can wait at the bar.
I don't care to wait at the bar.
So sorry. If I'd only known you were coming.
Oh, you would have rolled out the red carpet, I suppose.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk to me about, Iris? Because if there is...
Look, Paige, when I was here the other day, I didn't come to make a scene. It was you who got on your high horse.
You think you can call all the shots, don't you? Well, I'm tired of people pushing me around. I've just had it. I'm about to reach my breaking point.
I can see that you are. What is this about people who are trying to push you around?
Never mind.
Has Dennis changed his mind about coming to Alex's party?
We don't discuss it, if that answers your question.
Oh, Mrs. Wheeler, I hope I haven't kept you waiting.
Oh, not at all, dear. But it appears we're going to have to stand right here until my daughter-in-law gets us a table.
George, will you please show these ladies to table 4?
Thank you, Paige.
What are you doing here?
I work here, remember?
Don't work in Vicky's office.
I came here to see her.
When she just left, I'm surprised you didn't pass her in the hall.
I'm glad I didn't. Then I wouldn't have come looking for her, and I wouldn't have seen you.
Now that you've seen me, you can leave.
How are things down on the farm, Rena?
You mean the ranch? Wonderful. Just like I told you last time.
Glad to hear it.
Are you?
Of course. You know, I want you to be happy more than anything.
I'll bet.
What are you doing in town, Rena? Picking up seeds for spring planting, I guess.
I came in to see Iris and to talk to Daddy.
I just saw Stryker. He's in a big powwow with the legal department.
Yes, I know.
I gather Vicky wants to buy another television station. At least that's the scuttlebutt around here.
I don't know a thing about it, so don't try to pump me for information.
All right. Let's talk about something else. What are you and Iris up to?
We're not up to anything. I'm just helping her out with the party that she's given for Alex. Did you get your invitation?
No, not yet. When is the party?
Friday.
I look forward to it.
I suppose you'll be bringing that tacky little first cousin of mine to it, hmm?
Not likely. Sam's out of town.
Oh, what a shame. What happened? Did they send her away on assignment?
No, she's sort of on a vacation.
Without you?
We're not an item anymore, Rena. I moved back in to my old apartment the other day.
I'm sorry to hear that. You two really deserved each other.
It's very sweet of you to say that.
What happened, honey? Did she kick you out, or did you get tired of her?
She made the first move. I must say, I kind of miss her.
Do you?
Yeah. Not nearly as much as I miss you.
Darling, are you sure you don't care for a drink while we're waiting for lunch to be served?
Oh, I better not, Mrs. Wheeler. One little sip and I get positively lightheaded, and I've got tons of work to do this afternoon.
All right, then we'll just have the one martini. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that you are so conscientious about your work.
Oh, my, yes. Now, if there's one thing I am, it's conscientious. This is a nice place, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And you were so sweet to ask me to have lunch, Mrs. Wheeler, a virtual stranger.
You're hardly a stranger. At least I don't feel that you are. After all, you were raised by your Aunt Hildy, who at one time was my very best friend. I feel I've known you for some time. And I think we understand each other, too.
I have the feeling we do.
What's wrong, honey?
Don't honey me.
I'm serious, Rena.
Well, I am too. I'm tired of you making the remarks like the one you just made.
What? About missing you? It's true, I do.
Well, you just better get used to it because I plan to stay married to Max forever.
Forever's a long time, Rena. You're the type that gets restless and likes to move on to something else.
What are you talking about?
Take your first marriage to Kevin Cook. It ended, didn't it?
Max is not Kevin, and this marriage is gonna work.
We'll see.
Hello, sweetheart.
Hey, Daddy.
Well,
Hello again, Stryker.
well, we seem to keep running into each other today, don't we? I didn't expect to find you here with Rena.
He was just here to see Vicky.
Yeah, I guess I'd better get back to work. Bye, Rena. Stryker?
Justin?
Bye, Justin. Are you through here?
Yeah. I have to get down to the courthouse for a hearing.
Well, let me ride down with you and give us a chance to visit.
Rena,
What, Daddy?
what the devil's going on between you and Justin?
Beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you.
Flowers matching the cup. That's wonderful. Dennis, would you mind if I said hello to your mother? I think she'd feel badly if I didn't.
No, go ahead. We'll order it. Thanks.
I'd like you to meet Ashley Linden. This is my friend Victoria Bellman. How do you do?
Miss Bellman, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Very nice to meet you. I can see you're taking my son to lunch. Yes, I'm going to do my best about that party. Thank you. Nice to see you, darling.
I see that you know that Mom and I aren't on the best of terms right now.
Oh, yes, I know.
I assume you wanted to see me today so we could discuss the arrangements before I start working for you.
Yes, that's one of the reasons I wanted to see you.
Well, I should have everything out of the way at the gallery by the end of the week. After that, I'm all yours.
I think you have the makings of a good reporter.
I just hope that I can be as good as my father.
You'll be fine. Don't you worry about that.
I saw him this morning.
Oh?
He says hello.
I'm pleased to hear that. How's he coming along?
Fine. And I hope it won't be too much longer before they let him out of that awful place.
Dennis, I'm glad you're optimistic about this. That's exactly what Elliot needs right now, but you must understand that it's not going to be easy to get him released.
Well, I'll take all the legal steps necessary to get him out.
Dennis, I want to talk to you about your feelings towards Iris and Alex.
Vicky, did Mom ask you to talk to me?
No. But Rena came by my office this morning to tell me about the party that Iris is throwing for Alex.
Oh, yeah, the party. I know all about that.
I understand you're not going.
You understand correctly.
Now, that's where I differ with you, Dennis. I think you should reconsider the position you've taken for your own sake, if for no one else's.
For my own sake.
Yes. Now, I understand, and I know that your feelings towards Alex are not the warmest right now, but I've known Alex for a long time. And our relationship hasn't been the smoothest. And we've ended up very dear friends.
Vicky, Alex is no substitute for my father.
Do you know for a fact that he wants to take Elliot's place?
No, but I know that's exactly what my mother would like.
Will you forget Iris for the moment?
Think of Alex and what he might want.
And what exactly is that?
A friendship with you. Now, he is married to your mother. It's important to him.
Okay, so the guy wants some kind of a relationship with me. But does it have to be shoved down my throat every single day, every minute?
That's Iris's doing, not Alex's. Did he try to pressure you into taking that job at World Oil that he offered?
No, he didn't.
All right, then. Why don't you give him another chance?
By showing up at the party in his honor.
It would mean a lot to him.
I don't know. I don't know, Vicky.
Think about it. That's all I'm asking.
That's all there was to it, Daddy, I swear.
Did Justin know you were in here?
I don't think so. I didn't ask him to come and talk to me, I can tell you that.
So from what you're telling me, it was all one-sided.
Absolutely. I would have been happier if I hadn't seen him.
You sure about that, Rena?
Oh, Daddy, now you're sounding like Mama.
No, it's just a question that I had to ask.
All right, you asked it, and I'll tell you. I don't give a damn about Justin anymore. Now, does that satisfy you?
I'm just thinking about what's good for you, honey.
You should have some more trust in me, Daddy.
I do trust you, but Justin is another story.
I can handle it.
I'm not so sure about that. I think he's trying to make some trouble between you and Max. And you know how good he is at that sort of thing.
Daddy, will you stop worrying now? I'm not going to let him make any trouble. My marriage to Max means too much to me to let that happen.
Don't underestimate Justin.
I won't. Now, come on, let's get out of here.
You seemed a little nervous during lunch, Ashley.
Well, I'll tell you the truth. Ever since I spoke with Ryan Connor about the possibility of me replacing Terry, I've just been on pins and needles.
You must want the job very badly.
I do. I want to do anything in the world to get it.
Well, with an attitude like that, I think you have a good chance.
I'm surprised that you don't know about it.
About who my husband is hiring as his secretary?
Yes, I was in to see him this morning, and... Well, actually, I was hoping you might know what my chances are.
I make it a point to discuss business as little as possible with my husband. Otherwise, he would feel as if he could never get away from his work.
Well, I can understand that.
Besides, I don't think wives should meddle in their husbands' business affairs. It's not their place.
Well, then I suppose that you haven't mentioned my name to him, then.
No. But now that we're friends, I think you should get to know Alex. I mean, socially.
Socially?
Yes. Here.
What have we? Why, it's an invitation to a surprise party for Mr. Wheeler.
Yes, it's for this Friday. I hope you can come.
Oh, I would love to. Thank you very much, Mrs. Wheeler.
Ashley, it might be very good for you.
You mean you think that it can help me get that job?
Yes, but I think it would be a good idea not to mention the job at the party.
Oh, no, of course not.
Alex will be there to have a good time and to get his mind off business.
I understand.
On the other hand, I don't see why we can't work our way around to that subject at one point or another. Very carefully and subtly, you understand. In fact, before the party is over, I hope to be able to work myself around to several things. Oh, my son Dennis should be there, and I'd like very much for you to meet him.
I'd like that very much.
You gave gave me a start, honey. I didn't expect to see you home until it was dark.
Well, we got done with the branding early, and I wanted to come home, take a bath, and get into some clean clothes.
You smell nice. Ooh, I have a present for you.
What?
Beautiful shirt. It's just perfect. It was on sale, honey, half price.
That's very thoughtful of you, honey. Were you able to help Iris with that little problem she seemed to be having?
Well, I'm hoping that Vicky will be able to resolve it today.
What does your mother have to do with it?
I asked her to help me out.
With what?
Oh, with getting Dennis to that party for Alex Friday night. Remember I told you about all the trouble that Iris is having with both of them?
Yeah. We don't have to go to that, do we?
To the party?
Yeah, I'd just as soon skip it.
Oh, honey, we have to go. We have to help make the party a success.
Why?
Well, because if it is, it'll go a long ways into settling everything in the Wheeler household.
Oh, that Iris. Seems like she's got half of Houston helping her with her problems. You, me, Vicky. Did you see Vicky today?
Yes. I went by the TV station to talk to Daddy because he was in a meeting there, and I saw Mama.
And Justin, too?
Did Ryan Connor give you any indication as to whether they were leaning in your direction?
Well, as a matter of fact, he did seem a little encouraging. Oh, but I hate to get my hopes up. But since Mr. Connor's not going to be leaving World Oil, I want that job even more.
Ryan isn't leaving Houston.
Didn't you know?
It's the first I've heard. Do you know what made him change his plans?
Well, now, I get the distinct impression that it has something to do with Jenny Marshall.
Well, I don't know how that can be. When her husband came back from Cambodia, that supposedly ended everything between Jenny and Ryan.
Well, now, Barrett Marshall might think that, but I know from personal experience, Mrs. Wheeler, that you can't always just turn your emotions off like that.
Yes, I agree.
Now, of course, Ryan Connor didn't tell me that himself about Jenny Marshall.
Oh, no?
I did overhear a conversation. Him calling up the hospital to check up on her.
And you put two and two together?
Well, it's just that he sounded so concerned about her, and when I found out that he wasn't leaving Houston...
You do keep your eyes and ears open, don't you?
Well, I try to. I've got to go. Secretaries aren't supposed to take such long lunches.
It was lovely seeing you.
Oh. What a clumsy fool, Ken. Look at this mess you've made. Clean it up, would you, please? And I want you in my office in a minute.
Your daughter-in-law seems a little on edge today.
Yes, I noticed that earlier. Obviously, something is troubling her. I wonder what it is.
Could it be perhaps there's trouble between Paige and your son?
I don't think so. But with that one, anything is a possibility.
You don't like her very much.
That is the understatement of the year, Ashley.
Well, I tell you what, I don't blame you. I've never liked her much myself. Well, I don't know why I say that, though. I really don't know her very well.
Well, maybe it wouldn't hurt for you to get to know her a little better.
So you did see Justin when you were down at the station today?
Honey, I ran into him. I couldn't help it. Hardly even talked to him.
So how's he doing?
Well, not too well. He's broken up with Sam. And she's on vacation, probably recovering from the strain of having him live with her.
Well, it sounds like you two had quite a little chat.
Actually, Daddy filled me in on all the details.
I see. So did Justin dump her, or was it the other way around?
It was the other way around, but I don't see how that makes any difference.
Well, I'm just thinking that if Justin is unattached, he's on the loose again.
Honey, nobody would ever believe that you two are the best of friends.
Friendships have a way of changing when both guys are in love with the same woman.
Justin doesn't love me.
Justin has always loved you, and he always will.
Well, I disagree, but that's irrelevant. Honey, what matters is that I chose you. I married you, Max.
Do you really think that Justin will behave differently around you now that he's unattached?
Max, I love you, and nothing's gonna change that. Now, if you don't believe me, we're in serious trouble.
I believe you.
I hope so, honey. Because I can't spend half of my life defending myself every time a man talks to me or smiles at me. I just can't live that way, Max.
You won't have to. I know that you love me, and I love you very much. And I promise that I'll try not to behave like a jealous husband. At least I'll try.
Okay.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Texas.